Well, that's good because now we can learn how to update our WordPress. Now to update WordPress, basically when you log in to your dashboard, you'll see a message like this. And if that message shows up, all you need to do is go ahead and click to Update Now. So we'll click on Update Now. And at the top of the WordPress Updates page, there's an important notice to back up your database and files. Now, if this is a new WordPress environment where you haven't built anything yet, you don't need to worry about the backup. But if you've got your website already up and running, you're looking to update your WordPress, you'll want to back those up. Now, we already have a video for backing up your database and files called How to Back Up Your WordPress, and it's using a product called Backup Buddy. And use that video to see how to do automated and manual backup so that you can go ahead and do that before you would proceed. At this time, we're going to go ahead and click on Update Now, and this starts the update process for the WordPress. Now the update's complete, and it usually doesn't take too long, but it could take a little bit longer. It just depends on circumstances. And from here, we can just click on Dashboard to get back where we were at before we started the update. Now, one of the things you'll quickly notice when you're working on your website is that the dashboard will change regularly. For example, what you're seeing right now in the dashboard is what it looked like before we installed our plugins, and it's just information about what's going on currently with WordPress, and a lot of times it's advertisement for things that you have installed or advertisement for things they might want you to install. Now, once we installed our theme and our plugins, you'll notice that this is what the dashboard looked like, and it has information about our new theme, and it has information about our mentor and things that are going on. These little windows are movable, so they might be useful for you and give you information about what's going on and things like that. But many times things will come up like this little piece at the top. It's just an advertisement. They're recommending something, but we're not going to be using that. So we can close those little advertisements out like that. Okay, our first step in building our website is to create some pages. To do that, we're going to click on Pages on the left-hand side. And first we'll go ahead and delete the pages that are there. These are just sample pages. We don't need those. So I can choose those, bulk actions, move to trash, apply, and now we have no pages. Now to add our first page, we're going to click on Add New, and from here we don't need this little box. It's not going to be helpful. We're going to set a couple of defaults. The reason why we're going to do that is so once we've finished our first empty page, we can copy it, and the defaults for all the new empty pages will already be set. So first let's set a title for the page. Since this is our first page, we'll call it Home. And then under Content Layout, we're going to use 100% full width. And finally, under Title, we're going to set the title to be disabled. And these are just the defaults that are going to work for the site we need to build. So now at the top right, we'll click Publish. And click Publish again. And now our page is complete, and if we go back to Pages, we'll see that it's listed as our first page that's available. Now there's one more default I want to set on our initial page. So if you highlight the name of the page, it comes up with these extra options, and we're going to choose the option Quick Edit. In here there's a template, and we're going to choose Elementor Full Width because that's the one we're going to be using for this course. Now we can click on Update, and our first default page is complete. So to copy this page, if we put our mouse over the home name again, this menu comes up, and the right is duplicate this. That's how you duplicate one. But how many duplicates do we need? Let's go back up to Bethany's site, and we have our home. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 empty pages. So we'll come back over to our WordPress admin, and we're going to make 5 empty pages. So first, if we highlight Home, we see duplicate this. We'll click on that, and now we have 1 copy. Click duplicate this again, and now we have 2 copies, 3 copies, 4 copies, and now 5 copies. So at this point we just need to rename each of these to be the individual pages they're going to be. So if we hover over the name, we can choose Quick Edit, and the first page is going to be About, so we'll put a title of About. And the slug name is basically the name of the page itself when you go to click on it. And we're going to make that lowercase because the server is case sensitive. And now we can hit Update. Now our second page name is going to be Destinations. So we go into Quick Edit, Title of Destinations, and slug name of Destinations, lowercase. Update. Now we're ready for our third page. We click on Quick Edit, set the title of Gallery, the slug name of Gallery, lowercase, and we click Update. Now we're going to do the Travel Tips page. We click on Quick Update. So we're going to give it a title of Travel Tips, a slug name of Travel Tips with a lowercase t, a dash, and another lowercase t. And the reason why we like to use a lot of these words is if you're using keywords in your slug names, it makes the search engines like you better. So now we need to scroll down a little bit so we can see our Update button. We'll click on Update. And now we're ready to change our last one. So we hover over the name, click on Quick Edit, title of Contact, slug name Contact, lowercase, scroll so we can see the word Update. And now all our individual pages have their own individual names. Now I did forget one thing, and that was that these are all in draft mode instead of published mode. So we're going to quickly change that, and you can see how that works. So I can go back into Quick Edit, under Status, choose Publish, and Update. And I'm going to do it for all the rest of these, and you'll see that draft will go away. And now all of our pages are published and are ready to start building our first page. To edit the pages of our website requires us to access the Elementor plugin. And to do that, it's the same for all pages. First, you want to make sure you can see the list of your pages by clicking on Pages on the left. And then choose the page you want to edit. Let's say we want to edit the About page. So we clicked on the About, and at the very top there's a button that says Edit with Elementor. And we're going to click on that button. This loads our page in Elementor, and now we're ready to make edits. Now let's say we're done making edits and we need to get back to the dashboard. You come to this hamburger icon, you click on that, and at the very bottom is Exit to Dashboard. Now at this point we can go back to our pages and choose a different page to work on. Now notice that the About has Elementor next to it. That means it's in the Elementor mode. That also means when we go to edit it, if we click on it again, now instead of having an icon at the top, it has one right in the middle of the page, and we click on that icon going forward to make edits to that page. And if you're ready to work on another page, click on Pages and choose another page that you want to edit. You'll notice the link for the Destinations page is now changing to Destinations Jamaica. This is because the actual page is Destinations Jamaica, but the link at the top is Destinations that we'll need for the menu. Now before we start adding content to our pages, so we go back to Bethany's site, notice this menu across the top. We want to go ahead and build that menu before we do anything else. So let's go back to our dashboard. Now to add a menu, we need to go to Appearance and Menus. And in the box next to menu name, we're going to put Main Menu and Save Menu. Now we're going to pick all the pages that we just created, and we're going to add them to Menu. Then we'll scroll down, and under Custom Links, we'll add another menu item, Destinations, and we're going to use the # as the URL for now. Click Add Menu. And now we have our menu. We need to organize it the way we're going to use it. So we wanted our Home button at the top, and then About, and then Destinations, and then Gallery, and then Travel Tips, then Contact, and then Destinations Jamaica is a sub-menu for Destinations, so we're going to bring it up here and inset it just to the right under Destinations. Now as a final step, we're going to go into this custom link, which is Destinations, and just take that out. And that's how you make it to where it's not clickable. So we can click on Save Menu, and now our menu is saved, and then at the bottom, we want to choose this to display as our main menu, and then we'll click on Save Menu again. And now if we go over to our website and we hit Reload, you notice now we have a menu, and each of these items is clickable, and they take us to those default pages that we've made. So notice that Destinations is not clickable, but the pull-down Destinations Jamaica is clickable. All the pages obviously look the same because they're empty right now. Within Bethany's website, she had a black menu bar with these lighter colors. Now it's not totally black, and the letters aren't totally white. That makes it a little easier to read. To make that effect, we're going to go back to our WordPress admin, and under Appearance, this time we're going to choose Customize. And within Customize, we're going to choose Header, and so you may need to scroll down a little bit to see it. And inside of Header, we're choosing General, and that's going to have the place where you're going to change your background color. Now if you click on Select Color, it comes up with this pad where you can basically move around and pick whatever color you want. or choose from these different choices here, and then move it around some more and decide what color you want. Now in our case, Bethany went to a lot of trouble to go ahead and make a lot of information for us. So for example, the titles and the slugs were there that she used in her website, as are the default colors that she used, all the logo colors and things like that. So for her, the menu, she wanted to have it black, but not totally black, and this color is a little less than black, and I'll show you how that works. When we come back over here, if I pick black, notice it's all zeros, or if I pick white, it's all F's. Well, all F's is white, all zeros is black, and anything in between makes the number go up and down. Now for her, she picked a color that was almost black, and that way it has a little softer look to it. Now at that point, we need to change the letters now so we can actually see them again. So we'll go ahead and click on Publish to make that change to our site. And now I'm going to scroll back to the top, and then I'll hit the left arrow to take us back one menu. And now we're going to go into the menu options. And from here we can make the change to the color. So notice here's the link color. So I'll go back to Bethany's document, and I'll pick the off-white that she chose as opposed to this full white. And when we go back in here, we can change this link color. Now notice if I picked white, it's really, really bright, but if I pick the one that she chose, it's a little less than white. It's a little easier on the eyes. And then I want to go back and pick her menu accent color, and I'll show you how that works. Notice this blue here. When you come over here, you can see that little line there. Well, if I change that to the color that she chose, it's this green, and then I come down, there's another place down here where you can change the same thing. Now when we come over here, it'll have this nice little green accent on it. Now we want to go ahead and change the background and link color for the drop down to match what they are up here. So we do that under the drop down styling. We go into here to our background color and set it to the background color we used. And then we'll scroll down to the link color and use the color that she chose there. And now when we come back over here, you'll see that those things match up just fine. In Bethany's menu, this menu is to the left over here. So if we scroll to the top, here's our option, position, left, center, right. We'll choose left, and we'll choose publish. And now the only thing left is to build the logo that's going to fill in this spot, and so we'll go ahead and do that next. Let's open up a new tab in our browser. Now clearly there are lots of options for creating free logos out on the internet, but we found that designevo.com by far was one of the best choices out there to give you a high quality professional product as well at the same time being free. They also reached out to us originally because they were interested in a partnership with WebYoda Foundation to provide some of the proceeds to create more free training for those who couldn't afford it. So to get to their website, we're going to do designevo.com, and then you can do /WebYoda. And that takes you into the partnership link directly to the free logo section. And so you can see here we are ready to go. We can start our new logo, and the logo is 100% free, no cost to us at all. Now if it turns out you need a high-res version of your logo, the link that you just went through is going to get you discounted rates. And on top of that, if you use the promotional code WebYoda30OFF, it'll get you an additional 30% off if you decide to do that. But you're not required to purchase anything, and I'll show you how you can download and use this particular logo for free. Let's go ahead and click on Make a Logo to start our free logo. And on the left, you'll see a bunch of different categories. If you want a particular interest, for example, business and finance, it'll bring up examples that may work for your business. If you're in the food and drink industry, it'll have ones that are relative to that. Basically, any industry you can think of. Now, in Bethany's case, she was interested in travel. So we can click on travel, and then let's scroll down and see if we can find the logo that she settled on. The nice thing is these logos, you can change the colors out as well. You're not restricted to that. Let's see, where is she at? There it is. So there's the one she used. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And they're going to ask you, hey, you know, this, that, and the other, you want a name of it and a slogan. We're just going to skip that and go straight to making our logo however we want to make it. And now the logo has been added to our environment and it's ready to be edited. Now for Bethany's website, there were more than one type of logo she needed. She's going to need this logo that has yourultimatevacation.com built into it. She's going to need a favicon icon, the one that shows up on your browser tab. And then on the interior pages, if you go to About Us, she needed a third logo, which is this one right here. Well, it turns out this logo and this logo are the same thing. So basically we're going to have the logo by itself, and then we're going to have one with this text next to it. So let's go back to the editor and get started on that. So first we'll build a logo that won't have any text. And to do that, we're going to highlight the text that they gave us by default, hit delete, highlight the text, and hit delete. Now the free logo can only be 500 by 500 max. So we're going to use that size, and we'll take this to the edge, and then we'll stretch this out. And since I need this to have a transparent background on the About Us page, what I want to do is come over here to background, and I'm going to change the background to a color that is the light white color that Bethany has in her website. And that way it's going to be easier to replace that as a transparent color. Now we're going to change the colors in this logo to match the ones that Bethany used in her website. So we'll click on the logo, and it shows the colors that are in the logo. In this case, the yellow one's here. We'll change that first. So we're going to click on that and then click Add, and then we're going to change this to be the color of yellow she used, which won't be too much different, but a little bit. And then this blue was a green in her logo, so we're going to click that and add our green. And finally, this teal color is a little bit different as well, so we'll go ahead and add her color in there. And now we have all the colors of her logo in there. Bethany's logo is ready to download, and so we'll go up here and click the download. And notice there are two fancy purchase methods, and then right here is the link to get the free version. They want you to share on social media if you don't mind to have the opportunity to use the free version. And we're going to click download and agree. Now this comes up in my downloads folder, and it's inside of a zip file. And then I can click inside that folder, and what I'm going to do is just take one of these. I'll right click on the ping file, the PNG. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go back to my download folder. Then I'm going to paste it. Now I can delete the one that I downloaded, that folder, and I'm going to rename this one to be logo.free. Free version doesn't come as a transparent version, and we need it to be a transparent version. So we need to go back to our browser, and we're going to open a new tab, and we're going to do a search for LunaPic. And then under LunaPic, one of the choices is transparent. We're going to choose a file from our computer in our download folder, and we'll do logo free. Click on open, and there's our logo. And now if we click on the color we want to be transparent, it will choose that, and then we click on apply, and it's applied. Now on the left we can click on save, and then it has a choice. The default is to save as ping, and that is being downloaded right there. And if we go back to our download folder, there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this file, and I'm going to rename it logo-trans, so I know that that's the transparent version of our file. So now we have our logo, it's transparent, and it's free. Now since this logo is going to be used to sit on top of a video, I have a little bit of a concern of whether or not the resolution is going to be good enough to look correct with the motion behind it. So if I take this logo and I drag it to my browser in a new tab like this, you can see that it's a little grainy on the edges, and that's the best it's going to get when we've got a size that's so small. Now if we look at Bethany's website, you'll see that it's super smooth around these edges, and the reason hers is super smooth is because we made the commitment and went ahead and bought it. Doesn't mean you have to buy anything, but for our particular needs it just made sense to go ahead and buy this. It wasn't really that expensive. I'll show you how we did that, but the free version certainly works as well. To purchase the high-res version, we go back to our logo maker, and then we click on the download and just look at the options, and let's just choose it. I'm not saying you have to do this, but we choose it. You come down to the box, have a coupon, Web Yoda, 30 off, redeem, and now you're at less than $20 to get a high-res version of your logo. So it's your choice, but now I'm going to show you what the difference looks like. So let's say the purchase goes through, and then now it's going to take you back to your screen where your logo was at. And now because we're going to have a purchase version, it can be larger than that, and we're going to make it larger, and the high res it's going to give us is going to be bigger than that. So let's put 1,000 and 1,000, apply. Now we can take our logo and stretch it out really nice and big. Now we're ready to download the high res version, so we just click on download, and it automatically starts downloading the high res version of that. Now it's successful, and it shows it in our downloads folder. We'll go into the folder, choose high res, And then I'm going to right click on logo transparency. I'm going to copy that, go back to my downloads, and then I'll paste it in here. And so now I have the transparent version. Now I'm going to drag that to my browser over here just so we can compare the difference. Now we're ready to compare our two versions. So if we come up to our browser and click on the logo, you'll notice it's a little bit bigger and it's a little bit smoother. So you say, well, that's really not that much of a difference. I'm not sure what I paid for. Now over here, this is as large as it gets. Now over here, if I click on it, it'll show us how big it really is. And I'm telling you, I was shocked to see the resolution. When I look at this, I'm like, I cannot believe how nice a quality this is. And it was for less than $20. So for me, we got our money's worth, and we inserted it in her site, and it looks just absolutely wonderful on there, so I don't think we made a mistake. But once again, it is possible to use the free version, and in most situations, maybe it'll be just fine for you as well. Go ahead and clean some of these tabs up so we can make the second logo that we need. I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. And so now we're back to where we're at. Now, at this point, if we click Save, it'll make a copy of that in our folder so that we have it permanently. So if you come over here, you can go into My Logos, and you'll see it shows up in there. And there's a free one that I had looked at earlier, and then I just saved it just because. And here's the one that we have the basic agreement on. Now, one of the wonderful things that I found out is that if you edit the one that's here, you can download the new version. So basically, you can put whatever you want in here. You can make unlimited logos inside of here as long as you didn't mind replacing the old one with a new one. We're going to click on Edit so we can go ahead and make the secondary version of this. Now let's go ahead and review the second logo to remind us of what we're doing. So basically, we're going to be building this logo now. So we're going to have the same logo here, but this is going to be going across this way. So go back into our logo maker. So the second logo is going to be 1,000 across, but it doesn't need to be nearly as tall. So the first thing I'm going to do is shrink my logo down to say this big, put it in the middle of the screen. And then I'm going to change the dimensions to 1,000 by, say, 200. And then I can bring our logo over here to the left and to the top. And then I'll stretch it out to fit perfectly just like that. Now the second logo is going to have the same background color as the menu bar. So we're going to come over here to background, and then we're going to go in and add a color. And we're going to add the color, which is the background that we used in the menu bar for the website. Now we're ready to add the text to our new logo. I'm going to click on text. And the first text she used has a type that's Modern Sans, and inside of that it's going to be this Julia Sands 1. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And then it's going to be the word your. Can't see anything yet, so let's change the color. The color is going to be the yellow that we use in the website, so now we can see it. And let's make it bigger. And now let's kind of drag it over here somewhere. And it might necessarily be the perfect spot yet, but we're going to go ahead and keep working with it. Now since I know the .com in the corner is going to be very similar to this, same font and everything, I can select the your and come over here and choose this icon and make a duplicate of it. And then I can just drag that over here. And I can click on the text, change the text to be .com. Again, we will adjust sizes and things like that later. Now we're ready to do the word ultimate here. Now if we accidentally leave something highlighted and then we picked a new font, say this, it actually changes the font of the one that's selected, and we didn't want to do that. They have these undo and redo buttons that are really helpful, so that undoes it, and that redoes it, and that undoes it again. So now we want to put new text here, and to do that, the next font that she wanted to use is also a modern font, and it's called Quicksand. So we'll click on that, makes a box here. This particular one is going to be green, and then inside the box we can type our new text, Ultimate. And now let's give this a bigger size, let's say 93. And now we'll move this somewhere up here, let's say like that. And now we're ready to do our next word. Now the last word we're going to put in is vacation. And that's going to be this Roboto condensed. And it's going to be, let's say, size 100. And we'll change the color to the blue that's in the website. And now we'll click on this text to go ahead and change it. Say vacation. And now let's kind of drag it up into place. So now we got all the content, we just need to adjust everything to get it to fit just right. Now let's make some final adjustments to the positioning of the text. Let's move that basically there. Let's make this guy a little bit smaller. We'll move over here to the corner a little bit. Bring this guy down here just next to that, like so. Bring Ultimate down here so it lines up, let's say like so. And then for this text, Bethany used this little magic wand thing and she turned on this glow. And you can barely see it, but just add a little bit of effect. It makes the letters pop out a little bit. And then she clicked on vacation and she also added glow. And basically, we're done with the new logo. The second one is complete. Now we're ready to download the second logo. And remember, since I purchased the slot that the logo lives in and I've updated the logo that's in that slot, when I go to download, I'm going to be downloading the new logo as a high resolution as well. So it's basically 2 for the price of 1 at this point. So now I can click on download. And just as before, it'll bring it up in a download folder for me. Now I'm going to click on the logo folder. Click on the high res folder. Now I don't need it to be transparent because in this particular situation it's going to be in the menu. So I'm going to right click on the ping version. Copy that to the clipboard. Go back to downloads. I'm going to paste it. And then I'm going to rename this one Logo Menu and hit enter. Now I'm going to drag that one over to my browser. And I'll look at it in the browser and look how great it looks. And then I'm going to click on it and see it is really, really nice. So again, now that I got 2 logos for the price of 1, I'm pretty happy with myself at this point. Now let's go ahead and clean our browser up a little bit so we can proceed to start using our new logo. So we'll close this. Now here I'm going to close that window and I'm actually going to click save because this was tougher to make, and so that's the version that's saved inside of there. I'll close this. I'll close this. I'll close this. Now I'll go back to the WordPress dashboard by clicking the X at the top left. To add a logo to the menu bar, you're going to go under Appearance. And then you're going to choose Customize. You're going to choose Header. And then you're going to choose Logo. Now we're going to do Select Logo. We currently don't have a logo in here, so we're going to do Select Files. We're going to choose our logo-menu, hit Open, hit Select, and we're just going to skip cropping because we want to use the full thing. And it's going to fill in right here, and whoa, it's really big, so we're going to have to make some updates to that. But down here we've got width and height that we can set, so let's just try 200, 200 first. And that actually looks pretty good, but I think I'm going to make it just a tiny bit bigger on both of these so that the your and the .com look a little bit bigger. And I think that's good, so we're going to go ahead and click on Publish. And we'll come back over to our website and let's hit reload. And look at there, we're making progress. Now we're going to go ahead and add our favicon icon. That's the little icon that'll go right here. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our WordPress admin. And again, for the sake of being thorough, we're going to go back to the dashboard. And from here, you're going to go to Appearance, Customize, Site Identity, and then down here, we're going to select Image. And we currently don't have the image uploaded yet, so we're going to do Upload Files, Select Files, pick our logo transparent, our real big fancy one, click Open. Now we'll click Select, and it is the correct cropping already, so we'll say Crop to Image. Now the favicon been added, and we can click Publish. And now if we go up here and reload, it should show up. And it did. Well done. Now one of the things we need to do is define our home page. We have a home button, and that does take us to the page that would be our home page. But the main home page is going to be whatever it is when you come into here, which is just your URL by itself. And this is a page that isn't going to exist in our site. To set our home page, we're going to go back to our WordPress admin. And again, for the sake of being thorough, we're going to start at the dashboard. Under Appearance, we're going to pick Customize. Then we're going to choose Homepage Settings. And now we're going to choose static page, and for our home page we'll pick home. Now we can hit publish, and now we come back over here and we hit the logo again, and that shows that it comes back with our empty page. It no longer shows that default page from before, so we have now updated our home page. If you notice, when we click on one of our pages, the names of these pages have index.php inside of the name. And what we want to do is we want to change our naming convention. And to do that, we're going to go back to our WordPress, go back to the dashboard, and from the dashboard, we're going to go to Settings, and then we're going to click on Permalinks. And this is the different types of naming conventions. The most popular is called post name, and the reason is basically it's your URL and whatever you gave your slug name to be. It's clean and it's helpful for the search engine, so that's the one we want to use. So now we can scroll down, hit Save Changes. Now if we come back to our website and we reload, the About Us page just comes with the word About. So now it's working correctly. Now, not all websites can benefit from a search option. For example, Bethany's website, the navigation itself should get you to just about everything you need. So we're going to go ahead and remove the search option from her website. To do that, we're going to go back to our WordPress admin, and under Appearance from the dashboard,